טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. I hope you have your new at-home booklet. For those of you who are not temple members and don't receive our weekly email, you can download the PDF of our service booklet from our temple website, thetemplejax.org. We will continue at the bottom of page 1, Shir Chadash. To God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing we continue at the top of the next page. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. A new melody for us this evening for kindling the Shabbat lights. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher Yeshanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu lehadlik ner etzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu lehadlik ner etzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. That melody for our candle blessing tonight is by a friend of mine, Stacy Beyer. And now, as we welcome the Sabbath angels with Shalom Aleichem, we move from a modern melody to an old Yiddish folk tune, Tum Balalaika. Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hashalem, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love, we offer thanks and blessing, O God. We continue with Lecha Dodi at the top of page 3. Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yalalai 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 Pere Shabbat Lecha Bela Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yalalai 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 Pere Shabbat Lecha Bela Shamor Vezachor Bedipur Echad Ishmianu ha-miyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad Shemu tiferet veli tchila Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha Ki hi mekor ha-bracha Mirosh mikedem nesucha Sot ma'aseh b'machshavat tefilla B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Hitoreri Hitoreri Ki va'orech kum yori Uri uri shir taberi Kivon Adonai Aleich miklal Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Goim Shalom Materet Bala Gam Misimcha U'Tzola Am sigula, boi chala, lecha Dodi lecha kala, yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela, lecha Dodi lecha kala, yalalai, 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 B'nei Shabbat Nikabela. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Yitkadal yitkadash me'irabah Bi'almad yivrach nurtei v'yamlich machutei B'chai heichon uv'yom heichon uv'chahedecho beit Yisrael Ba'kala uv'yisman kariv v'imru Amen Yehei shmir Rabba mevorach le'alam u'lalmei harmaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Vitpa'ar vitramam vehitnase, vitaidar vitalal, shmeidekucha brihu, leila min koberchata, veshirata, tushbechata v'nachemata, Damiran miyama vimeru. Amen. We rise together for our call to prayer at the top of page 4. Continue just below. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Baruch atah Adonai ha-ma'ariv aravim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. We turn now to the top of page 6. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world. In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth. In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto be seated as we continue at the top of page 7 together with the words of Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'meitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue responsively at the top of page 8. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as imperfection and evil abound. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha נדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, אוסף אלה. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, אוסף אלה. Who is like you? ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה ליהנו אנו ויאמרו מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה ליהנו אנו ויאמרו Adonai Eloch le'olam, who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who continue the bottom of page 10. We find our prayer, Hashkivenu, which asks for protection as the night approaches. This melody is by Dan Nichols. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, ha-midrash shomerenu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, ha-midrash shomerenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, ha-midrash shomerenu l'chaim. On page 11, you'll find both V'shamru and Yismechu, and we have been singing V'shamru together every week. So in this new service, I have added for us Yismechu, one of my favorite passages in our Siddur, telling us to delight in Shabbat, to enjoy the Shabbat. So together, we sing Yismechu and celebrate our joy of Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomri, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomri, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Mikodeshi, mikodeshi shvi Shabbat. kavanah. Kavanah is setting our intention, figuring out our focus, and getting into the moment. At the top of page 12, you'll find Lucy Greenbaum's meditation in preparation for the Amidah. So as we all set our intention together, let us rise. You are blessed and you are holy. You are blessed and you are praised. You are blessed and you are faithful to the ones who praise your name. You are kind and you are healing. You are cleansing of my soul. You are loved and pure and gracious. You are real and make me whole. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Haki Tehilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, they'll show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. You are wise and you are sparing. You are merciful and clear. You are utter perfection, no more wrong directions. I'm loved and I am here. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Haki Tehilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, they'll show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Haki Tehilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, they'll show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Havot V'imahot U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atagi por leolam Adonai Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia Morid hatal Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim v'rofei cholim U'matir asurim U'mekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha ba'al givurot U'mido melech Melech memit u'mechayeh U'ma'at miach Yeshua V'neiman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני הקדוש.
Please be seated once again as we continue at the top of page 14. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael. Utfilatam Ahavath tekabel uthil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. Modim anachnu lach. Sha'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen yish'enu atahu ledor vador. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. Shalom Rav at the top of page 15. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah mechadon lechol hashalom. Ki atah Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim. We take a moment for our own silent prayer, and when we return, we'll be together at the top of page 16. guide my steps, and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. I have for this evening a message from Rabbi Goodman. He says, in Leviticus 19, most of the essential laws of the Torah can be derived. And indeed, that is the case because the basic laws of the Torah that regulate interpersonal human behavior are found in this week's Torah portion. These laws form the basis for an orderly society because they establish trust between the powerful and the weak, the rich and the poor, and the able-bodied and disabled. In Leviticus chapter 19, verse 14, we are called upon to respect all members of our society, especially those who are disabled. It says, "You shall not insult the deaf or place a stumbling block before the blind. You shall fear your God. I am Adonai." Upon closer inspection, though, we note that the Hebrew words are far more powerful than the English translation. The Hebrew verb tikalel, translated as to insult or to curse, stems from the Hebrew word kal, meaning light or easy, and suggests treating lightly or giving little importance to something. You shall not tikalel, you shall not insult the deaf or place a stumbling block before the blind. This verb is often juxtaposed in biblical literature with another Hebrew verb, kabed, which means to show honor or respect. We all know the word kavod, or in Yiddish, kavod. It shares its root with the word kaved, heavy. So here, too, there's a connotation of granting importance to a heavy or weighty individual. Thus, Leviticus 19:14 teaches us to create a new standard for others, Normally, one might ignore a person who is a lightweight, judging that person's opinion to be worth less than others in the overall scheme of things. Indeed, in the ancient Near East, the deaf and the blind clearly fell into this category. They were simply disregarded at best and were often ridiculed. Today in the United States, the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, tries to prod us to live up to the standards of Leviticus 19:14. Passed in 1990, this act forces the builders of new construction projects to keep the handicapped in mind and provide access for every segment of our society: the blind, the deaf, the wheelchair-bound, and the aged. But far too often we hear of those who try to skirt this requirement through a variance that can be granted by a powerful decision maker. While most of these requests for variances are denied, the very request for a variance itself reminds us of how lightly regarded the disabled remain. And that's too bad, because each and every one of us is merely temporarily able. Sooner or later, we will all need the assistance that this week's Torah portion speaks about and the Americans with Disabilities Act provides. In Leviticus 19, for the first time in history, we're called upon to create a new chapter in our relations with those who are disabled, and by implication, all who are less fortunate than we are. We are told that they deserve honor, respect, and the facilities they require. We are informed that they merit attention and care, and that they will receive God's love and protection. That is why the verse ends with the words, "You shall fear your God." Just because a person may think that the deaf will not hear a curse or the blind will not see an insulting gesture, we must remember that God hears and sees on their behalf. And in the end, the tormentors will hopefully receive their just punishment. Sadly, this verse prompts me to ask disturbing questions about the state of our country in 2020 as we begin the month of May. There are those who might suggest that some segments of our society are considered to be expendable and thusly less deserving of equal care by our healthcare system. Are the elderly in nursing homes or those incarcerated in prisons as important to save as our family, friends, neighbors, or fellow congregants? Do affluent areas get better healthcare treatment than those in poorer areas? These are very disturbing questions indeed. A study of history reveals another disturbing reality called population control. In the late Middle Ages, Christian Europe wanted to retake the Holy Land from the Muslims, whom they called infidels. But the Crusades also served another purpose. It was a way to rid society of what people considered undesirable elements by sending them on a holy cause, only to die. And on the way to Jerusalem, these so-called brave crusaders robbed and murdered tens of thousands of Jews. It was an extra bonus for them. At other times, population control affected all segments of the population. Plagues, tornadoes, famines, tsunamis, the Spanish flu, and the like indiscriminately killed thousands or millions of people. I cannot help but wonder if some segments of our population in May 2020 are considered expendable. We've heard the sick or elderly are going to die anyway, so why get so upset? But what if it's your parent or your significant other? We're told to assume those in prison are criminals, so just maybe we can live with many of them dying in prison. These are very disturbing questions, not intended to disrupt the peace of your Shabbat, but rather to remind us of our responsibility to each other. Judaism teaches us, Kol Yisrael arevim zeh lazeh. Every Jew is responsible for every other Jew. And we, as Reformed Jews and citizens of the modern world, expand that saying to be, we Jews are responsible for all of our brothers and sisters in our world, everywhere. It is our task to work to create a truly holy, noble, and just society for all people, especially those who are disabled or less fortunate. Only then can we truly enhance the dignity of all God's children, not just some of them. Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Goodman, thank you for sharing your words with us this evening. And I'll note that Rabbi Goodman chose just one verse of chapter 19 of Leviticus. But as he said at the beginning, most of the essential laws of Torah are found in this chapter, including the golden rule of treating others how you would want to be treated. The name of this week's Torah portion is Kedoshim, from Kadosh, holy. In it, we're told that we are holy because our God is holy. And then we're given the rules to follow. Because the reality is we are holy when we act holy, when we strive to treat others with love and compassion, when we listen to our conscience and make the choice to be gracious and merciful. At the bottom of page 16, please find the words, "Be holy, hear the whisper." Be holy, hear the whisper, a quiet, gentle voice. Be holy, hear the whisper that helps us make the choice to be like God. To be like God. Be holy, hear the whisper, present every day. Be holy, hear the whisper, it teaches us the way to be like God. To be like God. Ha-kadosh, Baruch Hu. Be holy, hear the whisper that guides each word and deed. Be holy, hear the whisper, reminding us we need to be like God. To be like God. Be holy, hear the whisper, the warmth of love's embrace. Be holy, hear the whisper, giving us the grace to be like God. To be like God. Ha-kadosh, Baruch Hu. Ha-kadosh, Baruch Hu. Ha-kadosh, Baruch Hu. Page 17, you'll find our prayers for healing. We pray for family, friends, members of this congregation, and for everyone who is injured or ill in body or in spirit. Some of us pray for ourselves. Others pray for those who are dearest to us. Give strength and purpose, unflagging energy, and deep wells of patience to all who seek healing, and to their caregivers, family, and friends. O God, gracious parent, hear our prayer and make our lives a blessing. Our congregation is especially thinking of Carol Babcock, Malcolm Bloom, Richard Owen Butler, Basha Goldstein Cantor, Diane Sanzano, Shirley Cohen, Stuart Cohen, Tom Davis, Art Fields, Paul Friedman, Steve Friedman, Judy Greenhut, Josh Greenspan, Shirley Joseph, Susan Jacobs, Ben Jacobson, Judy Jacobson, Robert Kay, Marilyn Levitt, Neva Lerner, Bill Lewis, George Matthews, Barbara McDonald, Rosalind Miller, Laura Osofsky, James Penson, Buddy Pollock, Elisa Powell, Robert Powell, Randall Rout, Marlene Rebb, Sandra Reznikoff, Alex Rosen, Alan Setzer, Ruthie Silver, Bernie Sims, Ram Temko, Bob Hughes, Bernice Tobis, Susan Warrington Wagman, Carla Weissman, Ed Whitland. We think of the over 3 million people affected by the coronavirus, those who are struggling to keep breathing, and our healthcare workers fighting to help them. If you have names to add this evening, please say them aloud now. We continue in the middle of page 17.
Mi shebeirach avotenu mikol habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikol habracha lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Please turn to the bottom of page 18 and we rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atid g'dolah le'otzer b'reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchalkenu kahem, ve'goralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'morim, lifnei melech melechei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, Vayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Let us be seated. The middle of page 19. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We're in a period of Shiva for Lieutenant Colonel Edwin M. Joseph, Barbara Ellen Schoenthal, Margaret Lee Hill. And we're in the period of Shloshim for Barbara Palev, Marie Groom-Bresson, Rita Kurland. This week we observe the yahrzeit for Jordan J. Ansbacher, Michael Arthur Brenner, Norman Brody, Sam Buchholz Sr., Charles J. Coleman, Faye S. Dinerstein, Jack Dorman, Jean B. Edwards, Gottlieb Elenoff, Israel Goldberg, Lillian Goldberg, Simon Goldstein, Jonathan Peter Gross, Marilyn Haas, Albert Hecht, Anne G. Hoffheimer, Grina Capel, Jesse Kazin, Bernard Lafer, Solomon Mayo, Pauline Oberdorfer, Dr. Ruben Rudolph, Martin Sack Jr., Henry Schemmer, Bessie Schneider, Howard Ted Schwartz, J. Irving Schwartz, Irving Sellin, Oscar Shostak, Shirley Silverstein, Lisa Spaeth, Rose Jacob Stearman, Sylvia Weinstein, Robert Young, Al Zisser. We think as well of those who have lost their lives to the virus here and around the world. And if you are thinking of someone that you have lost, I welcome you to say their name aloud now. For all of our loved ones whom we've named aloud and those we hold in our hearts, we rise together as a community to extol God's name with the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 21. On page 20. Git gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, ba'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ul'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for all those who mourn, for all Jerusalem, for all those who dwell on the earth. And we say together, Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'yiratzanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
we break bread together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tevon. We'll conclude our service this evening on page 21 with Adon Olam. This melody is a beautiful, simple Sephardic melody by Abraham Lopez Cardoso. I'll sing it as a nigun first. Lay, 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 Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nira li'ed nasa v'cheso kol hazai melech shemo nikara v'acharei kichlot hakol levain lo yimloch nora v'hu Wishing you a peaceful Shabbat full of light and love. Thank you for joining. Shabbat Shalom.